Okay, music room. Where did I get thrown into when I left that blue room? Got like a hair on my tongue or something. Anyways, just before I continue reading, it's been like a week and a half to 2 weeks since I last recorded, so I probably forgot all the move lists and stuff, so you're going to see me probably, well, when I get to a fight maybe. This here is so unexpected that I'm at a loss. This is a school. It's the music room of Yasogami High. I attended this school with my friends until recently. There's no mistaking it. We entered the TV together, so why am I here? No, that's not right.
This is... No, wait. This has to be the TV world.
The graffiti on the ground. Shoes placed like they're for some kind of ritual. The eerily shining eyes of the portraits on the wall. The more carefully I look, the more I realize that this place is not the real Yasogami High. Most of all, I sense no warmth from this place, like I always did from the students who would come and go from here. This is a fake. It's definitely not the school I attended. But what happened to turn the world inside the TV into this? On top of that, we entered the TV from our usual entrance, but I ended up in a completely different place.
This has never happened before.
I also realized, can't he dictate all this himself, I wonder? Why would you cut one line to say one thing? You know, can't he just narrate all this in the end anyway? Whatever. I also realized that my friends aren't with me either. Did we somehow get separated? I start to feel chills down my spine and look around.
Hello! Sorry for the wait. Greetings, boys and girls of Yasogami. The P1 Grand Prix is about to begin.
Rise, but I don't even know if it's the same voice actress.
There's no need for manners or courtesy or anything today, so let it all hang out. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I think it's her original one.
What the?
Is that you, Rise? Let's say, is that you, Rise? I think that's like the first in-game thing I've done is pick an answer or question. I shout out questions, but she doesn't answer. This is Rise Kujikawa, one of our friends on the investigation team that we couldn't contact. Does she not hear me, or is she choosing not to respond? As I ask myself this, I hear different voices echoing as well. I look around in surprise. These voices, it's not just from one or two people. I see countless students staring at me from the hallways, the entrance, everywhere I turn.
Huh?
May I have your attention, please? I, Rizette, will be your commentator. But first, the General has a few words for you all.
What's going on? Why are there so many people inside the TV world? Before I can think of any answers, Rise makes another announcement. And as if on cue, the monitor in the music room turns on. What appeared on it was Teddy. He was wearing a strange hat and cape, just like he did on the Midnight Channel last night. First Rise and now Teddy? What are they doing?
You're all here now. Well then, I'm proud to announce the opening of our very own P1 Grand Prix!
That's the same as well. That's the same bizarre tournament that was shown on the Midnight Channel. Then, is Teddy really the one behind this insanity?
Teddy, what's going on here? We came to look for you and Rise and...
Always with the talking, Sensei. It's a big waste of time. Less talk and more fighting. With the next challenger, come on down!
Can I actually fight? That would be kind of nice at this point. Anyway, what do we got going on here? Teddy looks away and makes a dismissive gesture. Smoke suddenly bursts out from underneath me and robs me of any visibility. Is there someone beyond that white curtain? Eventually, my field of vision begins to clear. I keep my guard up, expecting anything. But who should appear but Yosuke? And using the Persona 3 music for some reason. Though I hadn't expected to run into him like this, I'm relieved to see that he's safe. Teddy did say something about a challenger just a moment ago. I recall that the P1 Grand Prix that appeared on the Midnight Channel looked a lot like some kind of fighting competition. Wait, am I supposed to fight Yosuke now? That's not funny at all.
Great. They're expecting you and me to fight.
Looks like. Sheesh, what's Teddy thinking?
you get all buddy-buddy with each other. These battles are fought to the death. Only the victor can proceed.
This joke's gone on far enough, Teddy. We're not gonna play along with that.
I look over at Yosuke, hoping that he would agree with me. But Yosuke did not appear interested in what I had to say.
Oh, really? I guess you should declare me the winner then.
Yosuke?
What? You don't plan on fighting, right? That means I win by default.
That was not what I was expecting to hear. What's gotten into you, Yosuke? Do you have some reason to be talking like this? I can't figure out what's going on. Yosuke continued to speak in a carefree manner, and said something that I simply couldn't believe.
Oh, but is that okay with you? I mean, since Nanako-chan's here and all?
Nanako's here?
Wait, really? You haven't seen her? She's with Teddy.
That can't be. I saw Nanako back at the house when I left this morning. And even then, Nanako can't enter the TV world on her own. But she's in this world? I can't believe it for a moment. I can't believe it for a moment. I read it weird. But what if it is true? Just coming into this world can tire a person out very quickly. On top of that, if someone who can't use a persona comes here, it can sometimes even be fatal.
Where is she? Yosuke, where's Nanako?
Whoa, what's gotten into you, partner? No need to get hysterical.
Why are you so calm about this? You know what happened to her last time she came here.
Hey, this isn't the same Yosuke. Nanako did come into this world once, last year. It was not something any one of us would have wanted to happen. That was the start of a whole chain of events. Remembering them is heart-wrenching, even now. And yet, no, even then, it might be wrong for me to lash out at Yosuke for the way he's acting. Calm down. I need to think straight here. All Yosuke said was that he saw her with Teddy. Then, was Nanako brought here by Teddy if he's the leader of this tournament?
Yosuke, be straight with me. Are you sure Nanako's with Teddy?
How should I know? If I had to guess, I'd say she's probably still with him. Man, are you alright? Are you that worried about Nanako-chan? It's no wonder people look at you funny, thinking you have a sister complex.
The sense of wrongness that I've been feeling this whole time is getting even stronger. True, Yosuke may say some insensitive things, but mostly that's because he reads too much into a situation and becomes outspoken. He's not the type of guy to enjoy making hurtful remarks like this.
Yosuke, are you alright?
Huh? What are you talking about? I should be the one saying that to you. She's not even your real sister. All that big bro stuff really creeps me out. It was a while ago that I saw her. It's probably too late to save her now. You know how things went last year, after all.
Yosuke.
He's definitely not the Yosuke I know. Yosuke is my friend. He wouldn't be so callous as that. At least, I thought so, up until now. He was the one who had to face the pain of losing someone he cared about when the murders first started last year. I can't hate him for accidentally mentioning someone who was dead, but the way he's acting, he's doing this on purpose. I silently draw my sword and face Yosuke.
Draw your weapon. You'll get your fight.
What? Dude, what are you saying? You told me you let me win by default.
To be honest, I was thinking that this Yosuke before me was some kind of fake. I even wondered if something had happened to him, and Yosuke's shadow had appeared again in this world. But this wrongness that I keep sensing is nothing like that. This probably is the real Yosuke. And the strangest I feel is because these words really are coming out of the mouth of someone I never thought would say them. If so, then...
I don't know if you're being controlled or if there's something else going on here. Either way, you must understand the best way to resolve the situation.
There's no way to tell if what I'm saying is getting through to him at all. But if I want to figure out what's going on, I'll just have to fall for this trap once.
Sorry, but I'm gonna go all out. No hard feelings.
Huh? All that talk and you're gonna fight against your partner after all? Well, whatever. Let's hurry up and get this started. Ready?
Probably not. The tutorial was pretty long. Okay, I'll put a bookmark here then. I don't need to make another one. Okay. No, I just want to... Okay. You gotta cancel the bookmark process. Let's see me do terrible. Because I've never really... I don't play many fighting games, truthfully. I've played some Street Fighter. I'm not really good at Mortal Kombat.
Finally.
First match.
Ugh.
I gotta remember all this stuff now. I don't even remember all the freaking attacks, so I'm trying to remember all these things. Because he's obviously doing a lot better. Like, I'm trying to get my persona out for sure. Well, I did something. I'm like spamming the same attack over and over again with my freaking persona. Well, I did it, but that's because, you know, I didn't really, you know, whatever. I'll try and relearn the stuff again, you know. I gotta try and, like, remember, maybe I should, like, print out a move list for myself so I can have it available. Because trying to remember it all off the top of my head's hard.
Amazing, Sensei! Keep that up and zoom on ahead!
Ahead? You're gonna continue with this? Teddy, about Nanako.
I don't want to spoil the surprise. If you want to find out, you'll have to get to me! And I can't say why, but I think you should hurry.
The monitor shuts off. I still haven't learned anything about Nanako, but he did seem to have been expecting me to ask about her. I don't want to think about it, but Nanako really may be here. The moment the monitor turned off, the students began to leave like waves in a receding tide. No, they don't look like students anymore. There's something inhuman, just taking the shape of students. I was too focused on the fight to notice, but it seems their true forms were coming through. They look like silhouettes. Could they be shadows? Even so, I don't sense any hostility from them. Well, if they're not a threat and they're going away, there's no need to chase after them. Besides, there's something more important to do right now.
Yosuke, are you alright?
I walk towards where Yosuke lies, collapsed on the ground, and give him my hand to help him up.
Ow! Couldn't you hold back a little? I seriously thought you were gonna kill me.
The same went for you. I wouldn't have stood a chance if I held back on you.
Yosuke grimaces in pain as he stands, but he doesn't seem to have suffered any severe injuries. That's good. I knew I couldn't risk going easy on him, so I was a little worried that I'd actually hurt him. But once we get a good look at each other, Yosuke's demeanor suddenly changes.
Anyway, that aside, shut up about the nurses already. It's not like that's the only thing I ever think about.
That came out of nowhere.
What's this about nurses?
Huh? You were harping on it the whole time. How can you stand there and constantly bash my taste in women with a straight face?
Well, we know that there's an illusion going on because you, Narukami, was not saying anything about nurses right now.
Is it such a crime to like nurses?
Wait a second.
I don't understand why he's suddenly angry, but he's not making any sense at all. I tell Yosuke to calm down, and we go over what he thought had happened before the fight. We learned that our memories of what each of us had been saying didn't match up at all. According to Yosuke, it seems that I'd been, well, teasing him about his taste in women. Yosuke was so heated up over what I'd supposedly said that he almost went into a graphic detail, but I stopped him before things went too far. I mean, really, it's best for both of us if we pretended this had never happened. But thanks to our conversation after the battle, I've come to realize something. If we'd been hearing each other say things neither of us had been meaning to say, then...
Yosuke, let me ask you something. Is it true that Nanako is here in this world?
She is?
Yosuke is at a loss for words. He had no idea what I was talking about. It's just as I thought. Yosuke doesn't know anything about Nanako. If that's true, then what I had heard Yosuke saying before the fight was something that Yosuke couldn't possibly have said. This only makes me more convinced that I have the right idea. What I had heard wasn't what Yosuke had meant to say. I don't know how, but something else had made Yosuke say those words even if he didn't know he was saying them. That reminds me, Teddy on the screen had said that I needed to get to him if I wanted to find out the truth. Does that mean that Teddy had done this to us?
I guess there's no choice but to keep going.
Nanako is good friends with Teddy. I don't want to imagine it happening, but if Teddy wanted to kidnap Nadeko, it's certainly possible he could have. I want to go home at once and check to make sure she's okay, but I have no idea where I am. Even worse, Teddy holds the means of returning to the real world. There's no way out of here unless I find Teddy on my own.
Taking off?
Yeah.
Well, be careful.
Be careful. I'm worried about you. Do your best. I sense a lot of emotions behind those words. Yes, I know that now I'm hearing the real Yosuke. I take Yosuke's cheering me on to heart and leave the music room. Teddy had said that only the winner could go on in this tournament. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's probably not a lie. Yosuke understands that as well. That's why he's trusting me to sort it all out and lets me go without much talk. He's frustrated that he can't help me out. I could just be jumping to conclusions there. After all, Teddy did say that was the rule, but we don't have any proof either way. Well, I might as well see what he meant by that. I stopped walking and turned back to Yosuke.
Oh, one last thing. About those nurses.
Ah, quit it already! Are you out of your mind again?
Yosuke turns bright red and rushes towards me, flailing wildly in an attempt to stop me from finishing. And... there's a painful sounding noise as he runs into something invisible and slowly slides to the floor.
What is this?
So there's an invisible wall. Looks like the loser can't leave the room.
It looks like there's some force that prevents the loser from leaving the area where the fight took place. It's likely that every time one of these battles happens here, the winner will get sorted out this way. That's annoying.
I see how it works now. Thanks.
If Teddy really has kidnapped Nadeko, there's no time to lose.
Don't use me as your guinea pig. Wait, that's it? Hey, don't wear yourself out, alright?
I turn away as Yosuke shouts at me. Not to worry, Yosuke. I give him a quick smile before leaving the area for real this time. At that moment, I feel a wave of disorientation crash over me. I'm surprised that this is happening without warning, but it's not a threat. After all, I know this feeling all too well. Another bookmark. Apparently these stories are supposed to take 2 hours each or something, but... I mean, how many battles in each story?
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
I had been leaving the music room, but now I'm sitting in the Velvet Room for some reason. Margaret greets me with her usual smile. This room truly is mysterious. But why would she summon me like this? Margaret sees my suspicious expression and speaks up.
Things have only just begun, and yet you already seem tired. The misfortune that has befallen you can be thought of as a sort of trial.
A trial?
I want to know the details behind her words, but I know that she won't answer me even if I ask. The inhabitants of the Velvet Room never reveal everything. That's because they can only watch over the choices their guests make. Margaret's smile broadens when she sees that I don't intend to ask her anything.
Indeed. I am an observer on your journey. I would do nothing so thoughtless as to force you to make choices. You do not need such provocations. I already know that you shine brilliantly enough.
You know what this is feeling like because there's so much reading? The second disc of Xenogears. Remember that? If you don't, well, you can probably read about it if you don't want to watch my own Let's Play of it. Yes, I'm advertising my own Let's Plays within my own Let's Plays. I'm allowed to do that. This shine she speaks of. Could it be about my ability to use personas?
Yes, that is part of your brilliance.
She's reading his mind right now.
Personas are masks of resolution, strengthened by controlling one's heart, by forming bonds. You understand this well, don't you?
Yeah, that's how we all fought up till now.
Yes, indeed. But one's heart is intangible. It cannot be seen and cannot be felt. When polished, it releases a strong light unlike anything else. But it can also be clouded by trivial things. Have you ever felt that way?
That may be true.
You may be more conscious of that fact than most, because you hold the power of the wild card.
Of course he's felt like that before. Margaret's voice fades away as she answers me. And now...
From here on, you will be forced to re-examine the things you know as bonds.
Well, we know
How
now.
will you face the changes to come, and what choices will you make?
Stop interrupting me, jeez. Hey, look, we're in the school now. When I open my eyes again, I'm in the school's hallway. I turn around and see the door to the music room closed behind me. Was I only summoned to the Velvet Room in spirit? There's no way for me to figure out what just happened, but I think back on what Margaret had told me.
The changes, huh?
Even though the people of the Velvet Room avoid saying much, what little they do have to say always has meaning. Well, it's true that Margaret has said some strange things while I've known her, but she's never said anything meaningless while on duty. I would assume that this would be the case now. I may have to keep her words to heart. Okay, another bookmark. Scene 5. How many scenes in this thing? Alright, up to the next scene. A pretty tedious game in a way. If it can count as a game. In any case, I need to concentrate on this case for now. I'm sure I'll understand the meaning behind what she said when the time comes. I must proceed. Though this bizarre place looks nothing like the Yasogami High I attended, the building seems strangely familiar as I run through it. Oh, it's Gekko-kan, right? Teddy has appeared on the monitor in the music room. From the looks of things, he appeared to be behind what was happening. But I'd heard Rise's voice over the school's PA system before my fight with Yosuke. If this school works anything like a real one, I can make a good guess as to where Teddy and Rise are.
It might be the announcement room.
But of course, things aren't that easy. Those invisible walls keep getting in my way wherever I go. It seems that some of these walls don't let anybody through, no matter if they won or lost their fights. Every single time I run into one, I'm forced to take another path. It's like my route is already set for me.
I feel like I'm being led somewhere.
I stop for a moment in the hallway out of the practice building and mutter to myself while I take a look around. I don't know, is this Yasogami, or is it, because he says it's like, that's, maybe he's speaking like this is not the school I remember. The school I remember was, you know, not like this. I thought maybe it was in Gekko-kan because there are Persona 3 characters in here. Who is? No. Where are they trying to lead me? At that moment...
Hey, you there! You're one of them participants in that there Grand Prix thing, right?
Who the hell is that? A voice that I don't recognize at all breaks me from my reverie. I instinctively jump back and draw my sword in surprise.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's the big idea? You could poke someone's eye out swinging that thing around.
Hey, look! I don't know who that is! I turn to see a girl that I've never seen before. Me neither. And that's the Yasogami uniform. Was she part of that crowd? No, she looks like a real person. She was caught by surprise when I suddenly pointed my weapon at her. Although she flinches, her words don't lose any of their intensity. How bold of her. What is that accent anyways that she is using? That may seem like an odd thing to say, but it's what suddenly crosses my mind. But this girl doesn't seem to have any intention of attacking me. I sheath my sword but remain cautious.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Sorry ain't gonna cut it. What were you gonna do if you hurt one of the students here, huh?
What are you gonna do if you're Hoyt? Oh, what is this supposed to be? Like some sort of Brooklyn, New Jersey accent or something? I think it's New Jersey. Maybe like a Bugs Bunny.
You can't go pulling that stuff without student council approval. Alright, the jig is up. I'm putting the kibosh on this tournament right now.
Oh man, not the kibosh.
Hey, wait, hold on a second. I'm not in this because I want to be. I'm trying to stop the tournament.
I'm trying to act non-threatening, but the girl continues to glare at me. Who in the world is this girl? She's wearing a Yasogami High uniform. She said something about the student council, but I don't recognize her. We don't encounter people here in this world that often. If a person is here, then they're either a Persona user or a...
Why are you here, by the way? Wait, did you fall inside a TV?
That's right. I might have put it a little differently, but if she can't enter a TV herself, the only possibility is that someone threw her in. That was what was happening in the murders from last year.
All inside a TV? What kind of nonsense is that?
She's not aware of it. But if she was a Persona user, I don't see why she'd hide that fact. If she was trying to keep that from me, then she wouldn't have come to talk to me like this. Then, does that mean she is a victim after all? I carefully choose my words to avoid provoking the girl and introduce myself.
I'm Yu Narukami. I was a second year at Yasogami High until last year.
Huh? Last year? But that uniform.
Oh no, this is kind of my usual equipment when I'm in the TV world.
Equipment?
Never mind. Forget it.
Well, if you were only around till last year, I ain't gonna blame you for not knowing. I'm the new student council president. Nice meeting you.
Student council president. If I'm remembering correctly, the student council election should have taken place just before the holidays. I have no knowledge who won any of those elections, since I'd left Inaba before they could take place. That reminds me, I didn't have any friends on the student council last year either. This girl may very well be the president. No reason not to believe her.
Now it's your turn to spill. You said you ain't in the tournament because you want to be. Then what are you doing here? And what's this tournament about in the first place?
I feel that if I don't explain things very clearly to her, it will only provoke her further. But trying to tell her everything about what's going on here will only confuse her. I leave out the fact that this place is inside a television and tell her about the other things that are going on. First, I tell her about Teddy, that a friend of mine is likely the one who set this tournament up. Second, that I encountered some of my friends who were dragged into this as well, but they were acting strangely. And third, that my cousin, Nanako, still in elementary school, may have been dragged into this mess. The girl calling herself the student council president seems skeptical while I talk, but eventually she sighs.
So if I got this right, you didn't start this, but your friend did. Well, you don't seem like you're lying.
It seems that she somehow grasped the gist of what I was trying to say. I thank her out of politeness, but she laughs and asks why I'm thanking her. There's still one more difficult task left at hand. How do I make her understand that all this is within another world? How access by going through a TV, one access through going through a TV screen. She still appears to be energetic, but it doesn't change the fact that she's in danger. I have to get her out of this world, no matter what. Whoa, 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 whoa. I just pressed this by accident and discovered that you can just look at text from the past. I can scroll it. Why would I want to do this? I have to get her no matter what. Uh-oh. Where did that sound? Let's go look.
I ought to tell you to go home, but I get that you're worried about your sis. Come on, let's go check it out.
Cousin, not sis. We both start running at the same time. I reach my full running speed when something occurs to me. I'm surprised to see this Miss President keeping a pace right beside me. Oh my god, she's a female version of Yu Narukami, I bet. Just standing still in this world would be strenuous for a normal person, but she doesn't seem out of breath. She's quite impressive. I take a moment to quietly praise the girl running next to me. I mean, let's think about it. She has, like, grayish, whitish, silverish hair like him. I don't know. It's just an assumption because they mentioned she can keep pace. Hey, look. Chairs. We burst into the gym where all the noise came from, but there's no one here. Instead, we see huge piles of stacked chairs. I think this is where we did the practice. They're twisted and intertwined everywhere on the open floor of the gym, forming huge towers that reach almost to the ceiling.
What is this? Who'd go to all this trouble?
The girl stares up at the chairs, seemingly dumbfounded. Suddenly, the monitor in the gym flickers to life. And, as I expected, Teddy appears again in that costume.
Oh, are you on a hot date, Sensei? Well, that's fine with me, of course. But shouldn't you keep your mind on the fighting? Wow, you look so mortified. That's the face I was hoping to see.
He's not saying anything completely straight, but he's obviously hinting that he knows I'm worried about Nanako. I know that saving Nanako is important, but I can't leave Miss President here alone and abandon her to this world either. Still, I feel Teddy's words causing me to doubt myself, and Miss President raises her voice.
Hey, you!
You're the ringleader of this mess, aren't you? What's the idea? Raising a ruckus like this without running it by the student council.
Raising a ruckus in the tuckus.
Pack it in and clean all this up already.
She speaks as fast and clearly as she had when I first met her. After getting a clearer look at her, I feel like I've come to realize where she gets her courage from. She truly wishes to protect her school. Her strong awareness of her duty is surpassing her fear. But Teddy on the monitor looks annoyed and sneers at Miss President. It's incredibly detestable. I can't believe that Teddy can even make such a malicious expression.
What's that tiny thing? I'm in the middle of an important conversation with Sensei. A yappy little mutt like you should be muzzled and sit in the corner. Sit, puppy, sit.
He has absolutely no intent of dealing with her seriously. Miss President turns bright red in humiliation from being brushed off like that. This is enough. I take a step forward to put myself between the monitor and Miss President. Just let it go. None of them sound good. Just let it go.
Leave this to me.
I didn't say that. Okay. Miss President's lips are trembling. She must be angry that there's nothing she can do herself. I don't want to let those feelings continue, so I turn to face the Teddy on the monitor.
That was pretty harsh, Teddy. Hard to believe a womanizer like you would say such things.
What's so attractive about a shameless liar like her?
Liar? Do you know something about her?
The way he said that makes it sound as if there's some history between the two of them. But as usual, he doesn't bother to give any details in his answer.
Come on, Sensei. Your opponent's getting tired of waiting for you. With the next challenger, come on down!
After that line, another cloud of smoke rises from the floor. But this time, it is Yukkiko who appears. What's she gonna say?
Thank goodness you're safe. What's the matter?
It's nothing. Are you alright? Has anything odd happened to you?
Odd? No, I don't think so.
Yukkiko seems alarmed to see me in a defensive posture. I feel my shoulders relax in relief as I shift my weight to stand normally. It seems that she hasn't been affected like Yosuke had. I didn't think I'd been that tense though. Now that's the Yukkiko I remember. She's as sharp as always, exactly when we need her. If she's not being confused, then I can immediately ask for her help. I try to explain what I need from her.
Nanako might be in here. I'm heading to the announcement room where Teddy is. I need you to protect this girl for me. She might be a victim of all this.
I motion towards Miss President, standing next to me. Yukkiko looks at me in surprise. I don't blame her, though. But what Yukkiko said next was even more surprising.
Why do I have to do that? It's not like I know her or anything.
I'm not going to help her because I don't know her. Is that really what she's saying? I can understand that she might be cautious when meeting someone for the first time, but would Yukkiko really think that way? It's got to be the same as with Yosuke. That same uncanny sense of wrongness is coming back to me when I hear Yukkiko speak.
Yukkiko, not you too. Calm down and listen to me. Can you understand what I'm saying?
I wonder what you is saying to her, though.
Huh? What are you saying all of a sudden? I can hear you clearly. What did you mean by you too?
When I try to question her, Yukiko's expression returns to normal. I can't tell anymore. She doesn't look like she's being controlled by someone. Am I overthinking this too much? At the very least, she doesn't seem enthusiastic about this P1 Grand Prix.
This is probably a trick the enemy is playing on us. They're trying to get us to fight each other. I'll say it one more time, Yukkiko. I'd like you to protect this girl for me.
Sorry, but I don't know how to put this. It just feels like you're being really selfish. You always help people who have nothing to do with you, and I admire that. But where does that leave us? It's always your friends who get put in danger because of your self-centeredness.
I'm used to hearing her voice, but her words are scathing. I'm convinced now. There's no obvious change in her attitude like there had been with Yosuke, but something must be warping Yukiko's words too. Her words may seem like a sound argument, but she means something else. I don't care if someone who isn't related to me gets hurt. That's definitely not something Yukkiko would say. The real Yukkiko would never say something that disrespects the value of a life that way. Don't be deluded. Whatever happened to Yosuke is happening to Yukkiko, too. I don't understand the details, but Yukkiko hasn't had a complete change of heart.
Yukkiko.
What the? You could?
When I draw my sword, Miss President quickly tries to stop me, but I can't answer her right now. If a battle will clear up this pointless misunderstanding between us, then the time to fight is now.
Ooh, now that's our senpai. You'll show no mercy, not even to a girl if it's for your own goals. You're a real bastard with a sister complex. Keep it up and bring 'em all down.
I ignore the taunts being delivered in Risei's voice. Even if our words aren't getting through to each other and we have to fight without understanding what's going on, we'll come to an understanding later. I have to believe. Both myself and my friends. I hold my sword to the side to protect Miss President, who is standing behind me.
Sorry, but you need to stay back. Whatever you see here, try to stay calm. Promise me you won't run away.
What happens next will probably surprise her greatly, but I doubt Miss President will run away. She's already shown me how strong her determination is. I glance at her over my shoulder. Although she looks worried, she still gives me a slight nod of agreement. Now, time to do this. I must end this as quickly as possible.
Persona!
Izanagi! I concentrate all my senses to summon my strength of heart. My persona is Izanagi. If I allow myself to go easy on Yukkiko, she will surely defeat me. Yukkiko smiles faintly and takes her battle stance. She resisted the idea of protecting Miss President, but she seems to have no qualms whatsoever about fighting me. There's definitely something else controlling her.
Come, Konohana Sakuya.
What? Oh, sorry. Her persona. I forgot the name of her persona. Yukiko's black hair forms graceful arcs in the air as her persona, Konohana Sakuya, rises behind her. That's right. The usual Yukkiko should have a beautiful heart like this. Wait for me. I will save you. Of course, she thinks she's doing it for the right reasons. Here's the bookmark. Hooray. Let's watch me beat it by spamming buttons again. Ha ha! I love spamming buttons. I forget all the moves. I mean, I know a lot of them are kind of simple, but trying to do them, you know. How come everything's such a mystery with their weights? Seriously?
Final.
Second match. Okay.
Yukkiko Senpai and her fans are taking the stage.
I know, I don't want to just spam. I don't really want to spam buttons, but I should defend myself a little bit, I think. Oh man, she's actually pretty good. I guess I should be surprised. Ugh. Alright, there we go. That's what I was hoping for. Let's keep her in the corner, perhaps. I forget how to defend, unfortunately. Ugh. I gotta do some quick hits on her, but I forget how to. Okay, you just gotta back up, I think. I got KO'd. She's pretty fast. Hopefully I get to redo it as quickly as possible. Alright, that failed miserably because I couldn't just spam like with Yosuke. And I hate games that... Why can't games... What is the point of, like, you know, bring you back to title screens or loading screens? Tell me that.
I wish you good luck.
We're not in that, like, an age that needs to do that. This is not an RPG, it's a damn fighting game. Just bring me back to the damn fight right away.
Final.
At least they didn't take me to the... Alright. If I can get this move again, like this, so... That seems to be a very good one. I got... Okay, you get... I remember now you can shoot your persona behind them, but I kind of forget how to do so. My persona... Ow! Has it? I don't know. Ah, damn. I can't put too much distance behind us. The more distance I leave, the more She seems to be a far-range fighter. I can't escape this. Man, her fire attack really hurts.
Such total reversals. What a miraculous victory.
Yeah. I can't do good right away. It's pretty hard when you forget all the moves. She's got some really good fire moves.
Welcome to the Velvet
It's also
Room.
hard to try and, even if I
This place
knew
exists
everything,
between
it's
dream
hard to
wishing
put it into
goodnight.
practice instantly. There's obviously more to this fighting game than usual. I'll beat her, you'll see. If I can get close to her, it seems. Like if I go... man. Okay, so I'm having trouble deciding if I should put... Alright, good. There we go, yes. If I start from the... Alright, there we go a bit. I gotta try and defend. It's like once she gets going on me, it's hard to... Alright, good. A counter there. Good. Alright, I learned to defend a little bit better there. I'm trying to defend a little bit. I gotta counter something. I can just counter her. Oh, damn. I got closer this time. I'm kind of getting used to it. So you'll see me doing this battle a little bit more. Because what I did was I defended and was able to counter her, allowing me to do my big move.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Again, don't expect me to do any fancy moves right off the bat.
Very well.
Yosuke was easy and now it gets hard like instantly. What I gotta do is try and use my counter as best as possible.
Final.
Alright.
Yukkiko Senpai and her fans are taking the stage.
Alright. Right off. Okay. Man. Man, it's really hard to counter, I find. And even defend. Ow. Alright, there we go. Once I get that move, I'm usually good at it. But then... Oh man, I can't defend. Alright, good. I got that one again, at least. Man, she's really... Even then when I try to defend, I find myself failing at it. Alright, she's lost her persona, I think. There we go, yes! I had very little energy left. Or is my persona... I don't know whose persona's been destroyed. But I somehow did it. Like, pretty poorly. Problem was trying to defend. I really tried to defend it, but I found myself always getting... always found myself being, like, knocked down my defense stance. Or accidentally jumping because I'm panicking.
The winner is you, Senpai. What an utter thrashing.
Maybe what I should do is I should go back to the tutorial on my own at some point. Not this week, though. I have barely any time this week. I'm working 4 split shifts. I'm probably going to end this very soon because, yeah. But I got vacation next week, so I can spend, like, this weekend doing some practicing on my own. Yeah, that's what I might do this weekend because I got vacation coming up. I'm not going to record this very often anyway, so I'm going to have a lot of breaks in between, meaning that I'm going to forget a lot of this stuff half the time. I know some of the moves, like there's some weird ones where you do like kind of a partial quarter circle and then press one. I'm using a lot of square, I think, because I find that they're quicker moves, which I get you can't like abuse and you might want to use stronger. But the stronger ones take more time, and Yukkiko was very quick with her moves, meaning that I couldn't take too much time with mine. I'll just try to analyze the fight, you know. Obviously, it's really hard for me to see when I'm playing, but if I watch it, I might see what I did wrong. And again, you know, even from Street Fighter, Street Fighter I could do okay at, but since this is very different from Street Fighter and a bit more complicated, it requires, you know, some finesse to it, I guess.
I love all this animosity! These cocky, self-righteous friends showing how they really feel by beating the crap out of each other. That's real thrill of the P1 Grand Prix!
I don't care to hear any more of Teddy's jests. I still have reservations about fighting against my friends, but I now know that there is no other way to save them. I'm resolved to do what must be done. Also, there's no knowing if Teddy's and Rise have been affected just like Yosuke and Yukkiko had. If they are, then there's no use in trying to talk to them through the monitor like this. That's the conclusion I have come to. Miss President seems to have other ideas. And also the music, they really didn't get the looping into this music right.
How much further are you gonna push this? Why are you doing it anyway? These guys are friends. What's so much fun about making friends fight each other?
Miss President vents her frustration at Teddy's image on the monitor. But I was a bit surprised at how she worded it. She seemed more upset that he was making friends fight each other, not why he had dragged the entire school into this mess. We've only just met, but she clearly sympathizes with us and understands the pain we're going through. I'm embarrassed, but proud at the same time. A girl with such compassion would be a great student council president. I don't know if it's just me, but she does seem to resemble you in her, like if she had a feminine, if you was feminine, I'd say that that's what he would look like. I could be just jumping to conclusions though. It's no wonder she was elected to represent the student body of Yasogami High.
It's alright. Thanks, though.
It's not alright! This is...
She's still worked up and lashes out at me. Perhaps her heart is a little too honest. But her anger sets my mind at ease. She's right. What General Teddy is doing right now cannot be forgiven. I glare at the monitor.
Sorry, but you're not getting your wish.
What?
Did you think this would be all it took to break us apart? That it would make us hate each other? Sorry to say, but that's a huge mistake on your part. I believe in my friends. They'll never get taken in like that.
You're so stupid! What kind of sensei are you?
I'm warning you now. If you really are Teddy, then we'll get you back to normal no matter what it takes. Even if it costs us our lives. But if you're an imposter, hiding behind Teddy's face, I will make you pay for toying with us.
Teddy scoffs and turns around. The monitor suddenly switches off, suddenly turning on us without any signs of remorse. That's not like Teddy at all. No, he's most likely not the real Teddy. Seeing the anger in his face only strengthens my suspicions. Someone must be taking Teddy's form to make it look like he's the one committing these acts.
That girl's come around.
I immediately rush to Yukkiko's side. I'm sorry.
Yukkiko, are you alright? I'm sorry I couldn't go easy on you.
He said both anyway, so what's the point if I make a choice?
No, it's okay. You weren't your usual self, but I could tell by your eyes that there was something going on. I'm sorry too. Did I hurt you?
About 3 times.
Kinda, yeah. I sure wouldn't want to get into it with you again.
I try to pass it off as a joke, and we look at each other and laugh. Things are going the same way as they had with Yosuke. It's becoming clear now.
Hey, did I say things that offended you earlier?
Yes. You did.
Yukkiko hesitates, as if even remembering it is a difficult experience. What in the world did my illusion say to her? I bet it was something horrible. Whoever's doing this is certainly finding the most annoying way of getting us to fight. But what I supposedly said to her doesn't matter. Yukkiko is still hesitant to bring it up, so I tell her not to worry about it.
I don't need to know what I said. I just wanted to see if my guess was right.
I want to know.
It looks like our enemy has the power to confuse our senses. My first opponent was Yosuke, and he told me a similar story after we fought.
Huh? You said something bad to Yosuke-kun too? What did you tell him?
You sure you want to know?
If I'm the only one admitting to what happened, that's not fair, is it? But that curiosity is in line with the Yukkiko I know. I evade the issue with a smile and call out to Miss President, who's standing behind us.
What kind of people are you? Oh, right. We used our personas.
Yeah, we should at least explain to her what's going on.
She did see everything that had just happened. This would be a good opportunity to tell her everything. I introduced Miss President and Yukkiko to each other, and fill in the parts that I had left out of my previous explanation. I tell her about the personas. I tell her that we're actually in a world inside the television. And I tell her how the scenery here changes according to the parts of the people who enter it. She looks doubtful while I'm talking, but considering that she's just seen our personas only a moment ago, she doesn't immediately deny it. Still, it seems that she can't accept it all either. She crosses her arms as if lost in thought. On the other hand, it seems that Yukkiko didn't know that Yasogami High had a new student council president either. Aha! She's not really from Yasogami in that world. Yukkiko apologizes for not having paid attention to the elections in April.
And that's it in a nutshell.
So, that's what you meant by falling into a TV.
Yeah, which makes me believe this school could be a part of your mind that's materialized.
This school came from me? That's a lot to swallow. I'm not surprised. Why is it different this time around, though? Usually the victim's shadow appears first.
That's right. I had doubts about that too. There's a reason why it's dangerous for people who can't use their personas to enter this world. Besides the obvious reasons such as not being able to escape and being unable to protect themselves from shadows, a person's shadow separates from them. The shadows that split off are strongly attached to the original people they came from, and will try to harm them to try and become independent entities. I hadn't given it much thought, since Miss President seems so energetic, but it's still possible that this has happened to her as well. I put this together with the conversation I had with Teddy a moment ago and come to a conclusion.
The Teddy who's hosting this tournament, what if he's actually this girl's shadow?
Huh?
I noticed he got agitated when I called him an imposter. A fake Teddy would mean he's someone else using Teddy's form.
I see. If this place reflects Miss President's heart, her shadow must be here. And right now, the strongest candidate is...
That's right. If we both saw an illusion, then at the very least the enemy has the power to delude our senses and make us see and hear things that aren't there. On top of that, it can alter what others hear us say and see us do. If it can do that, then I can easily see that our enemy can use that power to change its appearance. That means it could be impersonating Teddy and leading this tournament. That still leaves the question as to why it would take on the appearance of someone it doesn't know. I've seen shadows in the past that took on bizarre appearances, but this is the first time I've seen one impersonate an existing person. Does this shadow have some kind of objective? When I come to my senses, I see that Miss President has turned pale and is staring down at the ground. All this talk of shadows and another world doesn't seem to be reaching her, but she seems troubled at the thought that she might be causing all this trouble. I'm about to tell her that the actions of her shadow aren't her fault, but Miss President rises to her feet.
I'm gonna check out the announcement room. That General Teddy's behind the whole shebang, right? And if he came from me, then I gotta own up to the responsibility. A student body president, I can't let this go.
Wait, you're being reckless. We'll take care of the shadow. You need to...
What? Get out of this TV world? And how am I supposed to do that? Go on. Show me the door.
Well...
Her eyes are filled with the fires of determination just as they had been when I first met her. Her sense of responsibility and her awareness of her duty say that she will never back down.
Your little cousin's in the announcement room. And you're gonna go save her, right?
I don't think Nanako's actually here as a trick to get him there.
I might not be as strong as the two of you, but I'm no slouch in a fight. Wouldn't it be better if we went together?
No. Don't you understand? This world is...
I know it's dangerous, but there's gotta be something only I can do to help. Hell, that aside, I can't leave after causing so much trouble. Making friends fight each other. I'm going on ahead. You don't want to waste time arguing, yeah?
Miss President declares this in a voice that brooks no argument and takes off running. Yikes, I wasn't expecting her to behave rashly like this. I remember how fast she can run. If I'm going to go after her, I need to go at once or I'll lose her.
Please, you have to go after her.
Yukkiko sees me hesitate and knows exactly what to say. She's right. There's so much we don't understand, but there's no way the investigation team can let a victim run off to die. Yukkiko ignores the fact that I'd be leaving her here alone and tells me to follow a girl whom she's only just met. This is the exact opposite of the behavior she'd been displaying before the fight. Now that is the Yukkiko and Magi I know. I'm ashamed that I had even slightly let myself be confused by the way I had heard her speak before, and I answer her. I'll come back for you no matter... thank you.
Don't worry about me.
I don't mean to do
I
that.
believe in you.
Yukkiko nods at me and I turn and begin running as fast as I can. I have to rely on the faint echoes of footsteps ahead to pursue Miss President through the school. I can't use my memories of the school in order to navigate because the invisible walls are everywhere, but the announcement room is upstairs. That obviously limits the paths that she can take. I will catch up with her no matter what. Bookmark? If yes, then I end it. Of course not. This auto-read, apparently. I don't know what that is. I've been running after Miss President for a while, but I still can't catch sight of her. She's so fast it's almost supernatural. I even begin to think that her path may not be hindered by the invisible walls. Wait a second. Now that I think about it, she's not a participant in the P1 Grand Prix. She did appear in the introduction video, and even though she'd been there when I faced off with Yukkiko, she wasn't affected by the rules. Could she be able to walk through these walls? If so, then catching up to her will be quite difficult. Just as I'm thinking this, suddenly a blue door appears in my path. I've seen this before. This is the entrance to the Velvet Room. I don't have time to deal with this, or so I think, but when I consider the timing of its appearance, I can't help but feel that there must be a reason for it. I make up my mind and reach for the door. As I walk through the door, I feel a slight sense of lightheadedness, and I close my eyes reflexively. When I open my eyes, I'm seated in my usual position, and Margaret is smiling quietly at me as if nothing is different. When she sees that I've noticed her, she speaks as if aware of my impatience.
You seem flustered, but time has no meaning here.
Margaret politely points this out, knowing that I'm in a hurry. Time is meaningless, huh? I thought I had figured out a few things about this room, but it seems that there's still more for me to learn about it. If time doesn't pass while I'm in this room, then I should concentrate on what she's about to tell me. Once again, as if reading my thoughts, Margaret smiles.
It seems you've emerged victorious and have come away with a piece of the truth. Though you are in a garden of deceit, you have the vision to go forward. Very impressive.
Is that student council president's shadow really the cause of all this then?
Who can say? All I know is that you are getting ever closer to the truth. There is one thing I can tell you.
Margaret's golden eyes are fixed on mine.
If that girl's shadow is the cause of this misfortune, she will face her trial. But it's separate from your fate. You have your own trial to overcome. Keep that to heart.
My own trial?
I didn't mean to, but I repeat what Margaret had just said.
Everyone sees various things in you that draw them to you. Salvation, hope. I myself find fascination in watching over you. Fate may not be the author of your trials, but you are destined to be tested.
Margaret smiles mischievously and nods towards me. Bookmark. Another slight feeling of lightheadedness passes, and I return to that outwardly school. The blue door is nowhere to be found, as if it had never been there to begin with. I look up. I still don't understand what my own trial is supposed to be, but for some reason, my mind has cleared up a bit. There we go. Bookmark time. Save it, and I'll finish here. Like I said, this is going to be done on a leisurely basis, and I don't even know if I'm going to do every single one. Maybe I should do them on my own, if anything. I don't know. People said only do a select few of them and then move on to Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, which is apparently a bit better paced or something. I can't remember exactly. But, of course, I'll play this one first just because it's first. But, yeah, I'm going to end this right now. And, obviously, I've only done 2 battles, and I'm a bit clumsy. But I want to experience the battles actually outside the tutorial to see exactly what they're like. Because, I mean, and I want to do it in the story, too. So, yeah, I experienced them, and I need to adjust some of my training on it, obviously. I can't tell you I'll be perfect at it, though, because fighting games are not my strong point, or at least not ones I don't play that often. It's hard to remember everything, especially with a tutorial that took me like 25 minutes. Anyways, that's it for this part, and see you in the next one whenever that is, whenever I have the time.